All right, hello. My name is Will. I'm your professor for Principles of Physical Science, and um, we're just going to start by going through the syllabus. There's a lot here, so I might abbreviate things a little bit. And usually when I'm going through this, even though I've proofread the syllabus, I usually find a few mistakes. For instance, Hesston College or Physical Science is not a source course, so the version that you have on your screen should be fixed of that. So my name is Will Friesen. I'm the main professor for this, so you'll have me for lecture. These 2 weeks, first 2 weeks at least, will be online, and then we'll be in person in CRUP 150. For lab, you'll have either Joel Crable, Jeff Baumgartner, or Megan Leary, depending which lab section you have, which you can find on my Hesston. My office is Charles 26. You are always welcome to come by once we are out of this modified quarantine. To find my office, you go to Charles Hall, walk in the front doors, take a left, and kind of follow the hallway a little ways, and I'm the second door on the right, just across from the men's bathroom. Office hours are here. You're more than welcome to take advantage of those. I always say, if I'm in my office and I'm not busy, you're more than welcome to come, even if it isn't office hours. I just know that I may not have time for you at that time. My office phone is there. You can use that. You can get a hold of me by email. I do my best to respond as soon as I can. If for some reason I don't respond to your email and a day or so has passed, feel free to send me another one. Sometimes emails get lost in my inbox. This class will meet in person once that starts at 3:20 p.m. in CRUP 150. Online lectures will be asynchronous, meaning we don't all have to meet at the same time. And then your labs, based on which section you are at various times on Tuesdays. Note that Tuesday, tomorrow, which is, I believe, the 12th, you will not have a lab. I have that on Moodle also. That is going to be in Charles 13. That's a different room than lecture. Charles 13, if you walk in the front door of Charles, it'll be the first door on your right, just kind of right around the corner as you walk in. The only required resource or textbook is Physical Science: A Conceptual Approach. It's an online-based homework program and textbook. There'll be more information about that in a little bit. The catalog, description, and course overview are here. You are more than welcome to read those on your own. But my intro PowerPoint in just a second will explain this a little bit more. Basically, physical science is the science of non-living things, so we're not going to be talking about biology. So physics, chemistry, geology, which is rocks, and astronomy, which is space. Because it's interesting, we'll also talk about the lives of the scientists who study these things, and we'll also watch quite a few videos. So we watch not one video per week, but maybe about one every 2 weeks. So we'll spend quite a bit of time watching documentaries and other things like that. Outcomes and so on, you can take a look at on your own. The assessment assignment we will deal with more toward the end. It's a 500-word researched essay, so that's about 2 pages, maybe a little bit more, describing one of the scientists we study in class, their challenges, their scientific discoveries, what you personally resonated with in their story. So we'll take a look at what these scientists were like as normal, real people, not just as, Einstein, this great scientist. So I hope that you will find those interesting. You can take a look at this for an idea of about how much time you can expect to spend on this class. The grading scale is pretty straightforward, like most other classes. Exams are worth half your grade, labs worth 25%, homework 10%, quizzes 10%, and class attendance 5%. The attendance policy is just the general one from the rest of the college, that you need to be there for class when we're meeting in person. If you're going to miss for an excused reason, you need to let me know ahead of time. I always remind students down here, the sciences are learned by doing, so it's in your best interest to be physically present and mentally present for class. It's especially important to be present for lab. Unless there are extenuating circumstances, makeup labs won't be scheduled. Individual lab instructors may have slightly different policies, so feel free to check with each one. Yes, we know this is the season of COVID, there are quarantines to deal with and so on. Don't be concerned about being in quarantine affecting your grade. The Top Hat textbook. So you can click this link in your syllabus to access the interactive textbook we'll be using. So it's interactive, meaning that as you read, your homework is built in. There are other videos and audio and so on included with it. So because this is a textbook, you do have to pay for it, like any other textbook. And the instructions are here. There are some links here in the syllabus that can help you out with it. And you can always contact me if you are a little bit unsure. Also, as of class time on Monday, you should check your email. I'll send it out at class time, and there should be a link to your email specifically for you that will take you to Top Hat and get you set up. So once you are in, you will also have a 2-week sort of introduction time where you can, a trial period is what I'm trying to say, where you don't necessarily have to pay. But after that 2-week expires, then you'll have to pay the fee. Once you get in, note that I make chapters and things available as you're going to be ready for them. So don't panic if you get in and it looks blank, because I haven't opened up everything for you yet. Absences are recorded. No distinction between excused and unexcused. You need to be there 80% of the time. I know that there are going to be lots of athletics misses, especially for classes late in the day. So I will be understanding for those. Assignments need to be turned in at the correct time. I don't take late work. Again, if you're going to be gone for athletics, for a funeral, for a wedding, for whatever, make sure that I know. If you have an assignment that needs to be turned in that day on paper, make sure you have a friend deliver it for you. If a late assignment is accepted, which is a rare circumstance, it will be given at least a 10% deduction. Assignments will be posted on Moodle. Here's one of those mistakes that I said that I didn't catch. So yes, it will be on Moodle. Exam assessments will be made up only if I decide that you deserve it. Regardless of why an exam is made up after the time, it will receive a 5% penalty because you've had more time to study than everybody else. Makeup exams may be given in the Access Lab. We might do them online. Each one will be different, so you'll get instructions from me what to do with that. If you are taking an exam in class, of course, you cannot share your calculators. We won't be using calculators all that much, but cell phones, iPads, tablets, computers don't count as a calculator. Come to class with all materials needed and ready, and so on. The rest of this I will let you read on your own. In class, the online software Top Hat will be utilized every day and will require you to bring a device to interface with the rest of the class. So this is when we're meeting in person. So a smartphone will work for this, a flip phone will work, tablet, a laptop, something to connect. I will take attendance that way, participation points will be given that way, and so on. You can purchase that at tophat.com for less than the bookstore price usually. I expect your respect, and I expect you to respect your fellow classmates. We might disagree on things in the semester. Keep in mind that two people can disagree without being disrespectful of another person's perspective. Moments of disagreement are to be dealt with in private. Failure to abide by this may necessitate involvement of the assistant academic dean. With that in mind, there might be some things based on your personal religious theology that you may disagree with. It's not my intent ever to insult your beliefs. I will, in general, teach what is the accepted theories and so on from the scientific community perspective. So it's not my intent ever to belittle or insult your personal theological beliefs. So please keep that in mind as we go throughout the semester. Class will start on time. It will conclude on time. Points will be missed for arriving late. If I ever get long-winded in class and I'm talking too long, feel free to raise your hand and tell me that it's time to go, because I never intend on keeping you late. Online portions of class will be asynchronous in nature, which means you may complete work at your own pace before due dates. I'll show you that on Moodle in a little bit. Laboratory, like I mentioned, is in Charles Hall. You'll work in groups. You'll need to bring a calculator and a writing utensil. All labs require a small 1 to 2 paragraph summary. These summaries should include the purpose, process, results, and discussion of what you learned. They are turned in at the next week's lab, and they will be worth 1 out of 10 points for the lab. The remaining 9 points reflect your progress on that week's lab. So your lab instructors will give you more detail about that. Lab sheets are to be turned in at the end of the lab session. Most labs are time-consuming to set up and cannot be made up at a later date unless you are excused and make prior arrangements. Here is a general schedule of what you can expect to do. Exams are on here. What I plan for each day is on here. Just keep in mind, this is a weird year. Strange things happen, and there may be some changing and flexibility of this. So this is not set in stone, but it is a general idea. Note there's a STEM project here. Once we are back in person, we might spend some time in lab during class times working on a STEM project. Last year we built bridges out of toothpicks and glue, and then saw how much weight they would hold. This year we might do that again, or we might build roller coasters out of paper for marbles and test various other things like that. So we'll kind of play that by ear and see what everybody thinks as a good option. At the end of the syllabus is the college attendance policy, withdrawal, if you have a disability, on what to do and who to contact, and that would be Kristen Kaufman right here, as well as statements on academic dishonesty and plagiarism, and also confidentiality and mandatory reporting. All this is important information that I will encourage you to read on your own. Okay, that is the end of the syllabus. This is what our physical science Moodle page looks like. I have contact information here. Week 1, so on Monday here, I tell you what I want you to do that day. There's a checkbox here so you can keep track of that. You can click this blue writing here in the center for your syllabus to download it, and watch, well, a link is here for the video that I'm recording as I speak. And also a reminder to check your Heston College email for that email from Top Hat creating your account. By Wednesday, I want you to have been registered for Top Hat. I want you to watch the syllabus and course introduction video, which if you are hearing my voice right now, you are doing that. And then I want you to begin reading the prologue in the Top Hat textbook and begin watching the prologue lecture in the Top Hat textbook. Look ahead to what's due on Friday to make sure that you know what it needs to be finished by Friday at 3:20. So that's the general format the Moodle class will take. I haven't finished filling out week 2 at this point, so just keep in mind that a good practice is to always be looking at the next class day and see what is to come. Okay, so that's Moodle. I assume by this point you all are fairly familiar with how Moodle works. On the side down here, you can see what I look like. So if you see me around campus, you know who I am, and a little bio about myself. And then Top Hat. Let me get out of here. So Top Hat looks something like this. It's running a little bit slow today. And on the left, you'll have, yours will look a little bit different than mine because mine is the instructor version. But on the left, you'll have things like textbook chapters that are all there. Currently, you have no access to those, but that will change soon. And then various presentations. So I'm going to pull up my first day of class presentation. Normally, I would take attendance with this, but today we're not going to do that. Okay, physical science. Physical science is a course that explores the physical world that we all live in. So we're going to look at physics, which talks about movement, light, sound, heat, forces, chemistry, what makes you, the atoms that make you, and everything else that exists. Earth science, which is a section on geology, which is the study of what makes up the earth, rocks and soil and so on. Meteorology, which is about weather. Earthquakes, we'll look at volcanoes and some other things like that. And then we'll end with astronomy, which is the planets, stars, galaxies, black holes, space exploration, etc. So I always hear, will it be hard? So to answer that, I try my best to make this class interesting and enjoyable. I know that all of you are not science majors, and that most likely you're taking this to fulfill your required science credit. So I'm going to try and teach it in a way that makes science hopefully interesting to people who haven't chosen to pursue science as a career. So any student who puts in any effort should be able to pass this class. In other words, if you show up to class and you participate and you do your work, you should have no problem passing. This class focuses on concepts over mathematical equations. One of a common stumbling block for people in science classes is that they find the math overwhelming. There is very little math in this class, and instead of doing the mathematical equations, I want you to understand the overall ideas of what is happening. While there will be a lecture component, other methods of learning will be included, such as video. Primarily Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson is a commonly used documentary series that I think is really interesting. We'll do hands-on projects in class and in lab, and provided weather is fine and we're still all here in person, we'll have some outdoor projects as well. So again, I try to keep this class fun and enjoyable for the non-science major. What do you need? First, you need access to Top Hat. We're going to have a little more of this soon. That's an online platform that allows me to present the text in PowerPoint while you view it and interact with it on your device or in your dorm room as it is. It's a lower cost alternative to a traditional textbook. You can buy from tophat.com via the link you get in your email for the best price. You can also get it through the bookstore if your scholarship needs to cover it. I wrote the textbook myself in an effort to reduce the cost to you. So yes, it still does cost you something, but it's substantially cheaper than buying a print copy of a textbook. The goal is to summarize the important topics in a more manageable amount of reading. So your reading assignments should be able to be completed in one sitting rather than trying to trudge through a 20-page, really dense chapter. So I tried to pull out what I thought was actually important. You get a free 2-week grace period for you to use the platform without payment. We'll see more of that soon. A note about science. As Heston College is a unique academic institution, it is often helpful to offer this disclaimer. There may be some ideas and perspectives that are presented in this class that you may not agree with yourself. It is never my goal as your professor to disrespect your personal beliefs. I will teach according to current scientific understandings. Remember that it is good to be an individual well informed of ideas with which you do and do not resonate. So please feel free to express yourself and your ideas in a respectful way. So it's okay to disagree with some of what I'm going to teach you, and it's also okay to agree with me. So we'll leave it at that. Please allow yourself to have fun with this class. It looks like I forgot a word there. The sciences are a great place for you to express creativity, pursue knowledge and trivia, experiment, express your artistic side, work as a team, work as an individual, learn to understand the universe where we live. There's something for you in science. So finally, I am open to ideas. If you have a special topic or project that you would like to explore in this class, let me know. If you were watching some random science YouTube video where they blew something up, send it to me and ask me if we can do it. Chances are I can probably come up with something that's at least close to what you found, and I'm always happy to do that. Okay, so a little bit on Top Hat. The first day of class, like I said, you'll be using it this term. How does it work? Here are the basics. Your professor asks a question, you respond using a phone, tablet, or computer. Yes, a flip phone will work. If you don't have your account, check your email for an invitation to Top Hat from your professor, which is me. Make sure to check your spam folder if you don't see it in your inbox. If you do not receive an invite, just go to tophat.com and sign up as a student. Follow the steps to create your account. Make sure to get this unique 6-digit course join code from your professor, which is in your syllabus and it is also posted on Moodle. If you've already created a Top Hat account before, which is probably doubtful because I think I'm the only one at Heston who uses this, go to tophat.com and click log in, and then use that 6-digit code in the syllabus and on Moodle to join my class. So if you have a Top Hat account and you've forgotten your password, do not create another account. You can go to this link to recover your password and reset it. Once you sign up, your professor will be able to make class more interactive. So to improve your connection, close other apps, especially if it starts crashing. Usually newer smartphones don't have a problem with that. Download Top Hat before or after, but not during class. Have only one device connected to Wi-Fi at a time. Turn off Wi-Fi and use cellular data if necessary. If you can't get the app to work, and the app does work better than the browser version, you can use just plain text SMS, and that will also work just fine. I am an expert in chemistry, but when it comes to Top Hat, contact them for help. They're really good. I use them for help even. If you have any issues with as you use Top Hat, let them know and they will be happy to help you get it figured out. So support.tophat.com, and there you go. So that is all of that. I think that wraps up what I wanted to cover. Normally this is the first day of class or so. So check out Moodle, see what you need to start working on for the upcoming days, and make sure you get your Top Hat account all set up and ready to go. All right, that's all for now. I will talk to you guys later.